Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is your daily go-getterism number 867 for February 16, 2017. Tonight I want to talk to y'all about being broke but not being ratchet. Being broke but not being ratchet, and also having a couple of dollars but not being bougie. Because they're basically in the same category. They're in the same realm. And a lot of times people think that just because you live in the hood, just because you may not have like advanced degrees as far as conventional schooling is concerned, that you don't know anything, or that you want, just be some kind of person that has a bunch of kids by a bunch of different parents or whatever, and none of them are disciplined or have any good home training or whatever. But that's not the case. Why do we stereotype each other like that? It's crazy the way black people do each other. I'm not even talking about white on black right now. There comes a time when we have to handle some of our in-house business. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of times we stereotype each other and alienate one another. Because, and we do that without even getting to know each other, and that's a problem. So once we get the scouting report on somebody, on each other, sometimes we mistreat each other, or we misjudge each other, or we prejudge each other, and never give anybody a chance to advance from what we prejudge them for. So, like, we think that somebody, like I said, they live around the way. I'm from Philadelphia, and the so-called worst part of Philadelphia is supposed to be North Philly. So I live in North Philly. so if somebody doesn't come in the hood a lot, they might think that just because you live in North Philly, that means that you don't have any money, or you don't have any education, or you like to be around that crime element or whatever. Because if you listen to the news enough, it'll have you thinking that you come out of your crib and you risk being assaulted or shot or hurt, killed, robbed, whatever. But it's not like that. It's not like that at all. And probably in a lot of other places, urban city areas or whatever, people have found a way to cope with whatever environment that they're in. I mean, you either know where you are and who you are, where you are, or you don't. So the bottom line is, just because, let's take like a woman, just because she's from the hood, or just because she's from the hood, don't mean that she's ghetto. It don't mean that, that she talks like this and maybe has like a crazy attitude, doesn't really know how to relate to people, doesn't communicate well. It doesn't mean that she doesn't know how to write or speak, or it doesn't mean that she didn't go to college. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have a degree. It doesn't mean a whole lot of things. It doesn't mean that she's a product of her environment, even though she may be a product of her environment. But the product is good, regardless, in spite of her environment. And that's not to say that even the ratchet people in the hood don't have any value. Everybody has some value. Everybody counts. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to people who truly are bougie, one of the things that irked me about that type of behavior, one thing that irks me about conceited behavior more than anything else, is the fact that you don't take into account somebody else's story, somebody else's timeline, somebody else's history, somebody else's life, somebody else's experiences. And you have to do that in order to get to know a person, get to understand a person. And it helps with communication. So even if you are a person that has gone to school and did everything the conventional way, gotten the degrees, maybe even moved up out the hood, does that mean you leave everybody behind? Well, some people have. And some people are comfortable with the decision that they made. Okay, that's fine for them. But it doesn't mean that applies to everybody. The bottom line is, if you don't get anything out of this video, what I want y'all to get out of the video the most is that just because you live in the hood doesn't mean that you're ghetto. It doesn't mean that you have that angry black woman, syndrome, or that angry black man way of approaching life. It doesn't mean that. You know what I mean? It could be that you have work to do down here, and maybe you're involved in your community. Maybe you're an activist of some sort. Maybe just being around your people makes you feel good instead of making you feel afraid or inferior. Maybe. You never know. Everybody has a story to tell. And probably everybody's story that gets told is worth hearing. Probably. I'm willing to give it a shot. So, and on the flip side of that, when we talk about having a couple of dollars but not being bougie. I have a lot of respect for people who do go to school, get that education, that formal education. A lot of people, especially a lot of our conscious activists, they really look down on our brothers and sisters who go to college and who get those degrees. Why? Knowledge is infinite. It doesn't make you a slave because you have gotten advanced degrees. It doesn't. How can you be mad at somebody who use their intelligence, their smarts, their ability to excel in the classroom to go ahead and make something out of it that may have given them a chance to see the world, explore the world, relate to certain people, and raise their pay grade? How can you be mad at somebody like that? But some people are. And some people think that just because you have gone to school that you're going to look down on people who haven't gone. Would you think that just because somebody has a really nice formal education, what do you think? They don't have anybody in their family that may not be able to read or write well or put up a decent Facebook post? Because we all have somebody in our family that probably should never have a pen and paper in their hand or a keyboard. But they do. And to each his own. It's not a bad look. It is what it is. And, everybody counts. In life, somebody has to flip the burgers. Somebody has to drop the fries. Somebody has to clean our toilets. Somebody has to install the toilets. Somebody has to pick up the trash. Somebody has to do a whole lot of jobs. And the thing is, these jobs pay money. So whether it's blue collar, white collar, whatever, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to bring the two collars together to make, sky blue. You put a blue collar and a white collar together, you get a little sky blue. Light blue, whatever. When it comes down to it, if you appreciate people, then you appreciate people. You're not going to audit everybody that you see. So if it offends you that just because you live in the hood, people think that you might be ghetto, you also have to respect the fact that just because somebody has a couple of dollars or a good formal education doesn't mean that they don't care about their people. It doesn't mean that they're going to be uppity and stuck up and conceited and extra bougie. It don't mean that. You know what I mean? And really, the energy that you give off is what's going to either attract people towards you or make them avoid you. And as simple as that. And it's all on you. So rock that. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, when it comes down to it, just like I said, and I'll say it again, just because you're from the hood don't mean that you're ghetto. Respect that. And just because you have a couple of dollars and have a couple of degrees does not mean that you're going to be bougie. Actually, one thing that I almost forgot to talk about was there are some people who are broke and still bougie. Yeah, it's an amazing concept, but it's true. I've known broke, bougie people. People who should be ghetto, but they bougie. And there is a bougie version of the ghetto, of being ghetto. I don't know if y'all seen it, But I seen it. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. Still we rise. Still we rise. We're gonna work it out. One way or another. One way or another. And I'll holler at y'all later. The Daily Go Getimism show is every single day at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call-in number is 319-527-6199. Once again, the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. Check us out. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Peace.